Yay Networks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Talk Kim podcast. This is my birthday week. I've been trying to have my birthday this whole month. Every podcast, I'm letting y'all know it's my birthday. It's my birthday. Y'all, life is flying. Life is literally flying so fast, and you better enjoy it. You better, I just feel like I just turned 50 years old, and now we're already celebrating 51. But I gotta tell you, y'all, listen, I am living in the greatest time of my life. I'm loving life. I live, look at Kingston. Kingston's loving his life too. Y'all, look at Kingston. He's here with me too. Kingston, say hi to the people. Say hi to your family. Kingston, I've been babysitting him for Mimi, and he is getting very acclimated to me. But anyway, I'm so excited you're here. It's my birthday week. This is a big week for the RTK Inner Circle because a lot of you are coming to Atlanta to see me August the 24th and 25th right here at Limitless Church, 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215, across from Whitewater High School. This is also a huge week because my brand new book is releasing right now. You gotta get up. In fact, we might be a few days into the release of it. So I need every single one of you to go to Amazon and pre-order. Order it. You get it in the mail now. You'll probably get it tomorrow. You got to get up. Y'all, this is the best book that I have ever written. It is so good. In fact, I'm going to talk a little bit about the different chapters in this episode. Man, it is life-changing. I went into the studio and I recorded the audio version. There's an audio version out there with me reading it to you. Y'all, this is literally, I've written 5 books now. This is the best book that I've ever written. And it is important that you get it in your library, whether it's audio. I like the book because you can write in it, and that's what I do. I write. You will finish it in 2 days if you're consistent with it. It is just fabulous. So go to Amazon right now, download or buy the Real Talk Kim You Gotta Get Up book. And also, for all of you that are not in my RTK Inner Circle, go to realtalkkim.com, join my RTK Inner Circle. This whole month, I'm giving you $5 off. Use the code RTK23. That makes it $15 because it's my birthday and I like to give back. All right. And today we're going to talk about you got to get up. We're also going to talk about how to trust again because, all month long we've been talking about how to stop being so complicated, how to uncomplicate your relationships, right? Then we talked about how to get your groove back. How do you get your mojo back? How do you get motivated when you have just allowed a season in your life to define your lifetime? How do you find you again? So that is one of the podcasts from this month. Go listen right now. Here's what you need to do. Subscribe to this channel. Wherever you're watching this or listening to my Real Talk Kim podcast, push that subscribe button. It helps me. It helps the world know that this podcast is worth listening to because I get stars and stuff. And then your friends get delivered. Yeah, real friends don't let friends hurt. And especially when you're holding good tools that can help them get free. All right? And so go subscribe, share this with somebody, and we're about to get into it. This is an exciting month. It's been an incredible month for me as I go into a brand new year of another great year of living. And I release my 5th book, You Gotta Get Up. Thank you for being here with me today. Go get your RTK journal right now because you're going to want to take tips down today as well. How do I begin to trust again when I don't trust nobody? How do I love again after I've been hurt by someone I thought was going to be with me forever? How do I fall back in love with me after I feel like I wasted 20 years in a relationship I knew wasn't going to work? How do I forgive my ex in a way so we can co-parent effectively? How can we love our kid more than we hate each other? So today we're really going to get into it. You're going to write the tips down. I'm thankful you're here. I love you so much. You matter. You're important. And we're about to get into it. I'll be right back after this break. Hello, everyone. I'm Real Talk Kim, and this is Kingston Henry. He is my sweet little dog, Mimi's dog, and he has been with me the whole month of August, taping all of these incredible podcasts. Well, we're going to get into it today because y'all know this is a special week. August the 22nd, released. You got to get up. Y'all, thank you all for all of you that are supporting me in this book. Y'all been riding with me for the last 3 months as I've been pushing this book. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You want to go right now today, order 10 of these. Invest in Christmas gifts. This is the best book. I'm telling you, one of the best books I've ever written. Go to Amazon and get this book today. Also, it's Audible. I went into a studio and read the whole book just for you. All right. But before we get into me talking about this, because I want to tell you some great stuff in this book, today, this podcast this week, I told you that we were going to talk about how to trust again. You know, trust is the glue that holds our relationships together. If you don't trust, it ain't going to work. And that's why some of us live our lives so isolated because we never healed from people hurting us. And now we don't trust nobody. Some of y'all don't even trust your own spouse because you don't trust yourself, right? Some of y'all don't have friends because you're so afraid that they're going to abandon you like your family did or like your old friend did. Today, how do you trust again? So I'm going to title this Learning to Trust. This is huge because it's really hard to get trust back when it's been lost. When you've been betrayed by someone you love or care about, learning to trust them again, if you'd even want to, takes time. It takes effort, right? It takes a moment. I remember when I walked through my divorce, I lost a lot of friends because a divorce is weird. A divorce is really tricky because you've got a lot of people that were y'all's friends together, right? And in a divorce, you don't just lose that person that meant a lot to you or used to mean a lot to you, but you lose a lot of people that you thought would choose you, right? Because now they feel conflicted, because now the union of having a relationship with a couple is now distorted and broken. And when I walked through that, I lost a lot of friends that I thought loved me a lot. And the divorce wasn't amicable. You know, it wasn't one that we just parted ways. It was one where ugly stuff was said and people really, unfortunately, had to make a choice. And in that season, I really had to think about, man, some of those people that walked out on my life and didn't believe me, right? How do I ever go about trusting anybody ever again? And I went on a quest, and some of the things that I'm going to give you today are thoughts that were in my journal during that season of learning how to be able to build healthy relationships after some healthy relationship you thought were healthy ended. Betrayal's hard. A relationship breaking is hard, and it takes time, and moving forward can really feel difficult, and it can feel scary. And today I'm going to give you, how do you decide? How do you decide to trust again? And the first part of this podcast, I want to talk about how to decide if you can trust a person again. Some of y'all are in a relationship where adultery took place and y'all are trying to work it out. You don't know if you want to work it out. We're going to talk about this first, and then we're going to get into friendships. How do you cultivate friendships and relationships after you've been broken? How do you build that trust back up? So we're going to start right here with how to decide if you can trust a person again. The only person who can decide if moving forward is in your best interest is you. And here's some questions to ask. You ready? Did this person deliberately betray my trust? Was it intentional? Another question to ask. Did this person admit their mistake? Or did I find out from someone else? Okay, so for this first question you're asking yourself, did the person deliberately betray my trust? What does that mean, Kim? That means, did they literally know what they were doing and want to hurt you? Did they want to hurt you? Did they make a point to call someone and talk ugly about you? Like, that is deliberate. Like, I'm going to take time to pick up the phone and call someone that is close to me and try to make them hate you. That's deliberate. This next question, example, is, did this person admit their mistake or did I find out from someone else? The question you need to ask yourself, a tagline to that is, if they would have not been told on or caught, would they have continued to do what they were doing? Probably. Probably. Here's another question. Is the indiscretion in question unforgivable? I've literally had people walk out of my life. In fact, 3 weeks ago, I had one of my pastor friends call me and say, so-and-so called me and was trashing you. You probably know what they were trashing you about, but I want you to know that I took up for you and I told her to never call me again. Now, this person, I can never let her back in my inner courts. This is a person that I could never allow back into my space because she deliberately tried to make someone dislike me because she didn't like me. No, nothing I did. Nothing I did. I did nothing wrong. Straight up jealousy. If your answers to any of these questions, your answers to these questions will determine your path forward. Remember, no matter how this person fits into your life before, parent, sibling, best friend, coworker, you have no obligation to be intimately connected with them. If they've broken your trust, only you have the power to decide whether or not you'd like to continue a relationship with them or not. When I was walking through my divorce, I'll never forget, this person called me and said, God told me that you need to fight for this. And I remember thinking, for starters, I didn't file for divorce. He did. Number two, there was adultery involved. And so my first question to this person was, they put me in a very odd situation because she lied. God would never have told her to tell me to work on something that he did not tell me first. A prophetic word is confirmation. So I'm not rebuilding a relationship with that person either. See, I think sometimes what we do is we are allowing people that are not supposed to be a part of our future to sabotage other relationships because we didn't put these people in their place before. We allowed these people to make us feel guilty, to manipulate us. They don't know the story because I refused to open my mouth and tell what I knew and why this situation was taking place. I never threw this person under the bus because I cannot climb to the next level if I'm trying to pull somebody down that's pulling me down. But I had to realize at that moment that this person could not go with me either into my future. So only you can choose to forgive and move forward. If you've decided to work toward forgiving the person who wronged you, understand that forgiveness comes from within. People make mistakes. While we're all human, that mantra in and of itself does not mean they deserve a second chance. A lot of times the reason we miss out on living our best life is because we are feeling guilted into letting someone stay in our life that absolutely does not deserve to be in our future because they showed us. Just because you healed does not mean they're not still toxic. If you continue to give medicine to people who like to be sick, you are wasting your life. Once you consider the context of the indiscretion in question, you can make an evidence-based decision that you have full confidence in. It's okay to take the time that you need to decide. You ready? Y'all ready? How to trust people again. This is number 1. Write it down. If you decided that you are willing to forgive and trust people again, here's how you do it. Are you ready? Number 1, start putting yourself first. Stop feeling like you are a bad person because you finally said, kiss my boundaries. While we should all always put ourselves first, oftentimes, and I don't mean this as being self-absorbed. Like, I'm not saying like you got to over here be diva. I'm saying take care of your heart. If you can't take care of your heart, how can you take care of your kids' hearts, your spouse's hearts? You're walking around letting someone walk all over you because you've allowed this person to make you feel like you're unlovable and they're the only person on this planet that's going to love you. That's a lie from the pit of hell. And now you become this sap. Like, you don't even know who you are anymore. So while we should all put ourselves first, a lot of times we don't. Oftentimes after being hurt by someone we love or care about, only then do we come to realize that we have been putting the needs of others before our own. So you got to take this time of clarity to mend the most important relationship of all, and that is the relationship with yourself. You got to stop jumping from relationship to relationship and putting unfair expectations on people. God, and love you. And when something feels off, know it's off. That is the Holy Ghost intuition on the inside of you that's telling you, stop this. Yo, I said the other day, this little kid came up to me at church and said that they love me so much. And the little kid was probably 8 years old and said, the greatest thing that I heard you ever say that I never forgot was, you said, if you don't like the clowns around you, stop going to the circus. You are the only one that can decide. And you know what, y'all? Most of the time, people that are trying to get you to stay in relationships, they don't know nothing about that relationship, right? And you're over here, you're like, oh, divorce is a sin. Yes, divorce is a sin. Yes, divorce is not happy. God does not like divorce. But maybe that divorce wasn't of God. But maybe the marriage wasn't either. Maybe you got pushed into this, or maybe you felt like better to marry than burn, and so you jumped into a relationship. Stop all that. Get on your knees and begin to consult God about your own life, and stop dragging people into your future that need to be in your past. You got to recognize the insecurities you may have struggled with and ignored in order to focus on another doggone person. Work through those insecurities. Maybe you've been dealing with trust issues in other areas of life, such as having trust even in yourself. You don't even trust your own decisions because you're like, oh my God, I married this person, and what if I do it again? What if I mess up again? You don't even trust you. Oh, I made a bad business deal. What if I make another one? Stop it. When you listen to your body and you build trust in yourself, you'll feel more in tune with your thoughts and feelings. Number 2. Communicate your expectations. Start communicating. Open your mouth and communicate, even if it means somebody don't want to be in your life after you communicate, right? It's important to communicate what expectations you have of your relationships with others. For anyone who has broken your trust, communicate what your expectations are of them moving forward. Let them know your trust in them is broken and that you need time to heal. Explain what they did to break your trust and what they can do to regain it. When you communicate your expectations with others and they fail to meet those expectations, you have the answer that you need. Okay? Number 3, set clear boundaries. Stop acting like, I don't care. Stop acting like you can't say something because it's going to make you look like you are insecure. Stop it. Especially if someone's broken your trust, right? Just be like, dude, I don't trust you on social media no more because you keep slipping in women's DMs. Or I caught you cheating. I read an email you sent somebody. I don't trust you now. And I need all your passwords. I'm going to tell you something. I believe that in a relationship, you should be able to share your passwords. The biggest red flag to me in every relationship is when you start changing passwords secretly. You are hiding something. When you are in a healthy relationship, especially with your spouse, you should have no secrets. And the biggest enemy, he always creeps in through secrets, y'all. The marriage ain't over just because you have adultery. You commit adultery. That affair is over the minute you start hiding and deleting text. All right? Your history. Stop that. Search your heart right now, man. You're about to, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He is like a lion seeking who he may devour. All right? So set clear boundaries. What is acceptable to you? Communicate your boundaries with that person who has broken your trust. And you know what? If they love you enough, they're willing to go with your boundaries. If they don't, I never understand someone that cheated and the person stays with them, and then the person's like, every time the person comes up and says, this is how this is making me feel, they're like, oh my God, you don't ever trust me. No, I don't. I don't trust you. And it is a gift that I stayed with you. But if every single time you're in a relationship with somebody and they're throwing that in your face, every time you're having an insecure moment, that person needs help. Y'all need to go to counseling and you need to get help because, listen, life is short. Number 4, realize that rebuilding trust takes time. Realize that rebuilding trust takes time. Don't allow anyone to tell you that you just need to get over it. Those people do not have your best interest at heart, or they are not sure how to build a good boundary life relationship. Take all the time you need to rebuild your trust, either with that person or with people overall moving forward. You may need more time to come to terms with their pain, and that's okay. Communicate with the specific person and anyone in the future that they need to respect your space and allow you time to work through rebuilding trust. Number 5. Recognize your triggers and be honest about them. If you've been hurt many times before, you may feel uncomfortable in certain situations and ways that others may not be able to relate to or understand. Just because someone may not understand why you feel the way you do does not mean that your feelings are invalid. Perhaps you are relearning how to date again. And seeing the person who hurt you out at a bar brings all kinds of old feelings flooding back, or at a restaurant. Didn't mean a bar. At a restaurant. We ain't talking about that. And all of a sudden you got all these emotions coming back up again. Be honest with those around you and say, guys, seeing that person makes me very uncomfortable, and I prefer that we keep a distance and leave because it's triggering me, all right? And good friends are going to have your back. Number 6, speak to a therapist. Just because you go to a therapist doesn't mean you're broken. Therapy is very good because therapists don't know you. They're not coming at you from a bias way. They're coming at you like, this is how I'm hearing you come across and we need to work at it. So go speak to a therapist. All right. Number 7, people's actions will tell you exactly what you need to know. Stop lying to yourself. Stop thinking someone has changed when you know for good God's sake they haven't changed. You are wasting your life. You are letting this person back in your life over and over again. All they've done is cheated on you. All they've done is lied to you. All they've done is been an opportunist before. You know what, y'all? Listen, I've had people come to my church. They have left my church, talk ugly about me as a pastor, come back, repent, and I put them right back in the spot that they left. Guess what they did? Guess. They did the same thing that they did the first time. But Kimberly over here trying to be God, trying to forgive people, believing the best in people. You know what it did? Hurt me again. You know what I've learned at 51? That just because you forgive somebody does not mean that person has changed. You know because your gut tells you what you need to know. And so I tell you today before we go to this break and I come back and I finish this up, that you need to take hard conversations, have a hard conversation with yourself. Some of you are wasting your life in that relationship or wasting your life with that friend or allowing people that do not deserve a spot back in your life to take the spot of somebody that does deserve that spot. And stop allowing yourself to put up with stuff that you don't have to put up with because you want to be accepted and valued. Stop crossing oceans for people that would not cross a puddle for you, and go with your gut, which is the Holy Ghost that has given you good intentions and intuition. All right? You deserve it. Y'all, you deserve it. You deserve good people in your life that love you the right way. All right? Go take a break. Go potty. Call your friend. Do whatever you got to do. Get her on the phone. Y'all watch this last piece together. I love you, and I'll see you in just a second. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. What a phenomenal podcast this has been. I like these kind of podcasts because, I am that preacher that this is how I pastor. I pastor. We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. We all want to be valued. But you know what? We ain't got to put up with stuff. We ain't, just because we're Christians, just because you love God, does not mean you got to put up with Judases, right? People say, what would Jesus do? I don't know. I ain't Jesus. I didn't get up on the cross. I didn't die for anybody, okay? And I'm human, and this is the way this makes me feel. You know where I'm at 51? Because y'all know I turned 51 years old this week. I'm at this place, literally, listen to me, where I don't even have conversations anymore. Like, why should I have a conversation with you? And this is the third time. We've had this. We've been here 3 times. You know good and doggone well what you did. Just because I'm a preacher and a pastor does not mean that I got to keep having conversations with somebody that does not deserve any more of my time. So I'm giving you permission to say no and it be a complete sentence. I'm giving you permission. You ain't necessarily got to have that conversation. Just because everybody's telling you need to go have that conversation. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't always got to go sit down and have a conversation with somebody that you know is not ready to change. They're not going to understand. They're not. Their mental capacity cannot keep up with you and your greatness. And that is okay. The Bible says in Proverbs to guard your heart because out of it flows the issues of life. Okay? So what does that mean? That means stop allowing people a spot back in your place that does not deserve. Now listen, I'm at a place in my life also where I want you to eat. I want you to eat. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you, but I don't want you to eat at my table. So I will send you a sack lunch. This is how important peace is to me. Now, this book that just came out this week is called You Gotta Get Up. This is my book. Y'all, this book right here, let me tell you, because everybody wants me to tell them what it's about. Real Talk Kim knows that pain can hold us captive. Our past mistakes tell us to blame others or to turn to a temporary fix that often becomes a permanent solution. Eventually, we feel trapped and stuck, and Satan persuades us to dress it up and call it home for good. But he is ready and waiting to miraculously redeem us if we reach for it. In this book, You Gotta Get Up, I show you how to define what needs to change in your life, and then I show you how to bring God into your broken pieces. I help you unpack the faulty thinking patterns that have kept you stuck to this point, how to replace them with God's truth, with a new mindset, and with compassion of the Holy Spirit. This book right here, y'all, listen, is going to change your life. You got to get up. Go right now to Amazon, buy the book, buy the audio that I read to you, and I'm telling you something. I guarantee you, this book right here is going to change a lot of your life and your friend's life. All right? And all of you in my RTK Inner Circle, I am so excited. I get to see you this week right here in Atlanta for our RTK Inner Circle retreat, August the 24th, 25th, right here. I'm going to baptize people on Sunday. It's going to be so much fun. I want every one of you that are coming to the retreat to go on and just shake off all inhibitions, all fear, all worry, because I know how it is when you're about to go to a new place. Get in the room. Have yourself a ball. We laugh. We cut up. We play. It's just a ball. Make sure, even if you aren't coming to the RTK Inner Circle Retreat, get there on Sunday, the 26th. Everybody's welcome on the 26th. All right? We usually are so packed, we ain't got room for you, but it's so much fun. I'll be baptizing people that day. We'll have food trucks. It's going to be great. 1653 Highway 85 South, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30215. Across from Whitewater High School is your landmark. All right? And I look forward to seeing you and hugging you. I can't wait. Listen, 24th, 25th, 26th, get in the room for the RTK Inner Circle. I love you. Go get my new book. And for all of you that have already bought this book, thank you, thank you, thank you, because we're killing it. We're killing it. I'm just so thankful that y'all partner with my ministry. Y'all believe in me. Y'all share my podcast. You believe in my content. You buy my books. You let me be your mentor. You're in my master classes, and I'm thankful. And I love you so very much. And I believe in you. And I will see you next week. Over and out.
Yay Networks.